Dear Diary, I've never kept a journal because I was always afraid someone would find it and read all the juicy parts. But lately, life has become so bizarre and magical that I want to keep a record of it, especially the juicy parts. Not that this week has been so magical. Sunday, the kids caught me snoring on the couch. Tuesday, I wore suede in the rain. And last night, Tom and I had lousy sex.
Oh, that tickles.
Since when are you ticklish there?
I don't know. It tickles.
Oh. Ow! What was that for?
Sorry. I didn't do it on purpose.
Well, it's hard to do that by accident.
I'm sorry.
Well, I'm sorry, too. Maybe we should just forget it.
I'm too old to still be having bad sex. Yesterday was my 40th birthday, after all. 40. Tom started planning for it months ago.
Listen, I've been thinking. What do you want to do for your birthday?
Nothing. I really don't want to celebrate that at all.
Come on, it's a big birthday.
I know that. I really don't care. But I did care. I was really hoping he'd just take me out for a romantic dinner and maybe dancing after, just the two of us. But instead, there was a party, big and loud, and not as much fun as people wanted it to be. I got some stupid gifts. My 10-year-old son asked me formally to dance, which really made me feel ancient. And Tom made his usual awkward toast.
So, somebody told her that I was only interested in older women.
It's true, you were.
Yeah, so she insisted that she was 28.
I was 21.
She's the only woman I know who lied about her age the wrong way.
Never made that mistake again, I can tell you that.
That's true. She still insists she's 28.
I can't even explain what went wrong in bed later. All I know is how much I wanted to feel close to Tom last night, and how I fell asleep feeling farther apart than when we started. In the morning, we picked up right where we'd left off, rubbing each other the wrong way. He took forever on the toilet, so I retaliated by hogging the sink. Then he turned up the volume on Spencer Christian, so I decided to blow dry my hair. Finally, I called a truce. You're looking very sharp today. You going to court?
Yeah, we're meeting with the judge to settle the Village Voice case.
Has he dropped any hints about which way he's leaning?
Look, I'm still not clear on my argument yet, so can we just please not talk about it anymore?
So we dressed for work in silence, dreaming we were other people or living other lives.
Naomi Campbell wants crab meat. Somebody please tell me we are not out of crab meat.
Tom still dreams of running a restaurant, a little bistro popular with models and actresses, where late at night the band asks him to sit in, and he always knocks their socks off. And in my dream, I'm a photographer, roaming the globe to capture misery and suffering in photos that inspire the world to help. In reality, I roam down the hall to inspire Ben and Sarah to eat breakfast. Ben, that shirt's not going to be warm enough today. You're going to need a coat. It's really, really, really cold out.
How do you know? Have you been outside?
I just saw the weather report on TV, much too loudly and clearly.
You know, children don't feel cold as much as grown-ups.
I think that's a myth.
No, it's true. I think I read it in the New York Times.
You believe everything you read in that paper, don't you?
It's my Bible.
I fought the impulse to tell Sarah that one day she'll be 40 also, and she'll call me to confess.
Mom, you were right about everything.
But then I may not live that long. I've had visions lately of my own death.
Here's another one who just turned 40.
Unbelievable. That's 3 this morning.
But I can't talk to Ben and Sarah about death yet. They still think I'm gonna live forever. No coat, no television tonight. It's your choice.
Okay.
I managed to reach the office alive, but my day only got worse. It didn't help that the coffee was cold or that Stacy was late.
I'm sorry, a guardian angel got mugged on the subway and I was a witness.
Or that around mid-morning Griffin decided to go on the warpath.
He's in kind of a strange mood.
Yeah, well, so am I. When Griffin first hired me to design the magazine, he consulted me on everything.
I like it. I mean, I think it captures him. What do you think, Ed?
Yeah, I think if we just airbrush some of his hair back here and here where you can really tell it's a toupee.
That's a toupee? Really? I thought that was the hood of his sweatshirt.
Of course, once in a while, his mood swings led to arbitrary decisions.
Where are the proofs? She said she'd have the proofs here by 5. What time is it now? It's 5:20. Kill the spread. And don't hire her again.
But nothing prepared me for his reaction to the Madonna cover this morning.
What is with you and breasts?
What do you mean?
I mean, you have this obsession with putting bosoms on the cover of this magazine.
I don't have an obsession. I happen to think that's a very tasteful photograph.
Tasteful? It looks like a map of the Suez Canal. Don't these movie stars have any self-respect? I mean, she's got to be, what, nearly 40 years old?
I bit my tongue till it bled. All right. What do you want us to do?
I want to see some other choices.
All the shots feature her chest. She's very proud of her chest.
Then let's get her back in for a reshoot.
She's on vacation in Morocco.
Then send someone to Morocco and send along a dress that isn't cut down to her waist.
Fine, I just never realized breasts were such a sensitive issue for you.
We've reached a decision. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Okay, but I think you're making a really big mistake.
Then maybe you should work for someone who doesn't make mistakes.
Maybe I should. It just popped out. But after it was out, I couldn't take it back.
Get out.
Oh, I was joking.
Maybe you were, maybe you weren't. I don't really care because I don't think we can work together anymore. Please, get out.
Oh, I wish I'd said, no, you can't do this. But I didn't, and before I knew it, I was out on the street. Did I quit? Did I get fired? I didn't even know. Either way, I was out of a job. I was no longer a working mother. I started walking aimlessly. The obvious place to go was Tom's office, but I was afraid he'd overreact.
I'll tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna sue his butt off. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna bleed him for every penny we can get.
Of course, he might have had the opposite reaction, the one I really feared.
Listen, I'm on with a client and I've got to get to court. Can we deal with this at home tonight? Okay, hey, honey, could you close the door?
I began to feel desperate and very cold, and I realized I'd left my gloves in the office, and I thought, I can't go back up there, not now. And right before I started to cry, I saw the sign, golf lessons on your lunch hour.
The 10-lesson package includes computer analysis and a free sleeve of balls.
I'd never had any interest in golf before, but I knew it involved hitting balls, and hitting balls was exactly what I felt like doing. The pro was named Gary, and he started by explaining the secret of the swing.
Tempo. It's all in the tempo.
Then he showed me the basics of the stance and the grip, and told me about the 4-foot putt that would have qualified him for the PGA Tour. I have no hand-eye coordination, but Gary was patient and kind, and self-conscious about touching me, which I found flattering and sweet. And on the last swing of the lesson, I finally managed to make contact with that ball. All the other golfers had gathered to cheer me on. Or maybe they were just excited because the buttons had ripped off my blouse.
Hey, what are you crying for? You're not a great golfer yet, but come on, you'll get better.
His name was Fritz, and he had massive forearms and very fresh breath. He wanted to know why I was crying, so I told him.
Jeez, you got a pretty good job there, huh?
Yep.
Well, you learn when you get to be my age not to go shooting off your mouth like that.
Why, how old are you?
38.
I liked him immensely. He'd been a cop for 17 years, but he twisted a knee chasing larcenous meat packers down Gansevoort Street, and now he's a security consultant at Barney's. His wife Carla works at the police forensics lab, which makes for some lively debate in bed.
I'm telling you, in my humble expert opinion, the weapon was a shovel.
All the report says it's a heavy, flat, lethal instrument.
Which I say was a garden shovel.
Which could have been a
Heavy, flat,
shovel. It
lethal.
could have been a frying pan. It could have been a 6-iron for all
Oh, you're
we
telling
know.
me the killer used the golf club. You know, why is it always comes back to golf with you?
This is my hobby.
No, it's your disease, you know, and one of these days you're going to have to choose between me and golf.
Don't make me do that.
Fritz talked about his golf the way most women talk about their children.
I mean, I'm not saying it's better than good sex, but it's better than the same old, know what I mean?
At Barney's, the seamstress sewed up my shirt. Then Fritz checked his messages while I, unable to control myself, did a little shopping. I fondled a few suits, which I didn't need since I didn't have a job to wear them to anymore. And I fell in love with a Calvin Klein little black dress, which I convinced myself I could afford if the kids never went to college. No problem.
You want to see me in action? This is me in action. Check out that redhead over there.
The redhead?
Don't stare. Just keep on shopping. Show me things like I'm your husband.
She looked innocent enough, thin and beautiful, and I suddenly realized I knew her. Her name was Christy Bales, and she lived upstairs from me our freshman year at Brown. Really?
Don't make eye contact. Talk to me.
Look, honey. So we spied on Christy as she surveyed the Donna Karan, drifted through Armani, then flirted with Versace before arriving at Calvin Klein. She stopped at the little black dress I'd been admiring. Once, twice, 3 times she circled it. Then, almost casually, she slipped it off the rack and stuffed it in her shopping bag. In a blink, she was gone. I couldn't believe it.
Believe it. They see all types every day. Nothing surprises me anymore.
It surprised me. I remember Christy always had money. I remember us driving cross-country to spend Christmas with her parents in Wisconsin. I remember her father invented some kind of cheese.
Yes, it's in the Cheddar family, actually. Oh, do try it, my dear.
I remember the postcard Debbie Wagner got from Paris in the middle of Christy's junior year abroad.
His name is Jean-Claude, and he's an archaeologist. He asked me to marry him, and I said, oui. Isn't it just too romantic? Love Christy. She's pregnant.
And now here she was, blithely stealing a slinky dress worth more than its weight in gold.
What are you gonna do?
Get her at the door.
Then what?
Call the cops.
What are they gonna do?
Hook up, front up, lock her up for a while.
For how long?
Christy was 30 yards from the door, or as Fritz put it, a sand wedge from jail.
Excuse me, ma'am.
I tried to imagine what jail was like, all jumpsuits and broomsticks and handcuffs and gruel.
I'll pay for it.
What?
I'll pay for it. I'll buy it. I'll buy the dress, so it's not stolen. So you can let her go.
Wait, what are you, nuts? Why would you want to do that?
Well,
I didn't have a good answer. All I knew is I couldn't watch Christy be humiliated by the long forearm of the law. So instead, I watched her stroll calmly out the door and into a cab, while I handed over my credit card and waited for it to be rejected. But it wasn't.
Thank you for shopping at Barney's.
Maybe you want to buy my wife a little something. It doesn't have to be a big designer name or
all
anything.
right. Give me a break.
I'm sorry. I just don't get it. I mean, what are you going to say if you find her?
I don't know exactly. She obviously could use some help.
She obviously could use some money.
The Brown Alumni Office gave me an address for Christy Bales Carlson near Sutton Place. Not your average den of thieves.
Just remember, it's all in the tempo. Right? I'll see you soon. Stop by anytime.
Okay. Thanks.
Then I walked east to Christie's building in a biting wind. I wasn't sure how to get upstairs, so I just stood out front for a while, shivering like a little match girl with no inventory.
Excuse me, are you waiting for the agent?
Is this Christy Carlson's building?
Yes, but the agent left a few minutes ago. Mrs. Carlson just came home. I can ask if she wants to show you the apartment herself.
Hi, I'm Christy. I'm just changing because you have to run out to a party in a
I was unemployed, I was curious, and I'd paid for the dress in her hand. So in I went. Christy Bales Carlson did not need any money. Not the kind I could give her anyway. Her living room was filled with Greek antiquities, like the wing I always skip at the Met. She opened an expensive bottle of water and set it on the counter to breathe.
It's from Iceland. It is the most fabulous water.
I agreed, it was fabulous. It tasted like water.
Now, before you see the apartment, I want to hear everything about you.
Then she launched into her life story. She'd married the archaeologist, and together they'd gone to Egypt to dig in the Valley of the Kings. It sounded like a fairy tale.
Oh, it was a nightmare.
They'd spent summers in the south of France and Christmas in the Alps.
The Spanish tile we put in ourselves, but of course the colonial brick was an original detail.
Oh, what an incredible view.
I suppose so, if you like bridges.
Then came her divorce from the French archaeologist.
Dis-moi, qu'est-ce que j'ai fait?
Or was he an Italian archaeologist?
Dimmi che cosa?
Either way, the children had remained with their father. I wondered why.
I get depressed.
She said cheerfully. In college, she'd been bulimic. Now she was depressed. It was either trendy or tragic. I couldn't decide.
And what about you? You must have children.
Christy wanted to see pictures, so I handed over my wallet. Then the phone rang and she disappeared for a moment.
Oh, jeez, I'm sorry. I didn't realize the time. I've got to go get ready. Come up and sit with me.
Why do we women do this? Dress in pairs? Habit? Vanity? Zippers? Christy put on silky underwear and then the dress. She looked great. Better than she had a right to. I decided it was time to confront her. Christy.
Christy! Here are your pills. Try to give me a little warning next time.
Oh, Eric, please. It's not that big a deal.
Did you go out today?
Why don't you just have me followed?
You cannot leave this house without those.
Oh, stop acting like God. You're not God. You don't even have a beard.
Who is this? Another poor real estate agent? This apartment is not for sale.
Darling, this is
Christy introduced us and we made small talk. Then he kicked off his shoes and made an announcement.
You know what I'm gonna do tonight? I'm gonna watch TV. I haven't watched TV for about 5 years. Is that show Seinfeld still on? I hear that's good. Want to watch Seinfeld?
We can't. You have to make an appearance at that leukemia thing, and then we're meeting the Friedmans later at Palio.
Palio. Tagliatelle con funghi and insalata caprese, and can you put the dressing on the side? That was her life now. Dinner after dinner, all the tight smiles, all the charitable chatter, all paid for with a card you never left home. That was everywhere you wanted it to be. And for a moment, just a moment, I thought I understood the urge to shoplift.
And what do you do?
I mumbled something about the magazine at which I no longer worked.
We love Q&A. We've had a subscription for years. In fact, we know the editor there, Griffin someone. At least Eric does, don't you, honey?
If he had been God, his look would have turned her to ashes.
His wife is one of Eric's patients. Didn't you just operate on her this morning?
It's nothing. We thought it might be breast cancer.
Breast cancer?
But she's fine. It's nothing.
But it was something. It made the irrational rational. It brought order out of chaos. It revealed the grand design of the universe. Is she still in the hospital?
Maybe just for tonight, but she'll be home tomorrow and back at work on Monday.
There was a flower shop I knew on Lex around the corner from the hospital. I couldn't get a cab, so I ran the whole way.
I have this one for $30, or this one for $55.
They're both beautiful.
Thank you. I do them myself.
They were voluptuous, like painted blossoms by O'Keeffe.
Or we have this one for $125. This is what I bring home on special occasions.
I smiled with envy. What lucky guy came home to flowers like that?
Ronnie, it's me, and I hope you're in a good mood because, I mean, whenever I say I love being a talent agent, just remind me about today. I'm telling you, I want every executive at NBC. I just want to shave their heads. Plus, it's the football playoffs and testosterone. Oh, geez, Ronnie, these flowers are heaven sent. You are heaven sent.
And then I wondered if they were healthy, and then I felt guilty about always wondering. I'll take the one for special occasions.
Oh, that's great. And how will you be paying?
You take credit cards?
Sure.
I couldn't believe it. I'd left my wallet at Christie's. Or had she actually pilfered it?
No problem. Just call them. Get your credit card number. That's all I need.
Thank you. Eric said they were just leaving, but he found my wallet in the kitchen and gave me the info.
Don't be silly. We'll drop it with your doorman in a shopping bag or something.
The hospital air was thick and tropical. On the 5th floor, Griffin was reading to Elizabeth from her favorite book, Great Expectations.
But it is the same with any life. Imagine one selected day struck out of it, and think how different its course would have been. Pause, you who read this, and think for a moment of the long chain of iron or gold, of thorns or flowers that would never have bound you but for the formation of the first link on one memorable day.
Hi. Annie.
Annie, how'd you know?
Look at those
Elizabeth
flowers.
was feeling good. Tired, but good.
Why don't you go get some coffee or something, Griff? I want to talk to Annie about some girl stuff.
Just pretend I'm not here.
Get out!
He obeyed her the way I'd obeyed him this morning.
I'm gonna get coffee.
Then Elizabeth sat me close and we talked about girl stuff. About hips and thighs and diets and wrinkles. But mostly we talked about breasts. Big breasts and little breasts and cysts and lumps. And removing them and improving them and putting them on the covers of magazines. When I left her, I found Griffin waiting in the hall.
Listen, Annie, I lost my head this morning.
Oh no, I lost my head.
So we were headless. It's not a good look for either of us. I was going through a lot of stuff this morning, and I took it out on you. And, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, too. I would have hugged him, but he was my boss again. Neither of us knew what to say next.
You know, those flowers you brought are gorgeous.
Yeah, aren't they?
They're beautiful.
I wanted to ask him why he hadn't told anyone about Elizabeth's illness, and why he'd come to work this morning instead of waiting at the hospital. But then I realized he was probably just scared. And like so many men I know, he thought hiding his feelings was the same as being brave. I had to borrow $10 from Griffin for the cab ride cross town. When I got home, the doorman handed me a brown paper bag. Upstairs, the kids had already made their own dinner.
Ooh, pasta al cazzo.
Mom, stop. I'm trying to eat.
In the bathroom, I paused to study myself in the mirror. I decided I didn't look a day over 37. Then I opened the brown paper bag and took out my wallet. And a familiar black dress by Calvin Klein. Inside the dress was a note.
I found the receipt when I opened your wallet. I get suspicious when Christy wears new clothes, so I asked her about the dress, and she confessed. It's not the first time, believe me. Just the first time she hasn't been caught. Thank you, Eric.
I couldn't resist trying on the dress before I returned it to Barney's. Amazingly, it fit me better than it fit Christy. Life isn't always unfair.
Wow. Wow, 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 wow. You look really...
Careful.
Curvy.
Oh.
Really voluptuous.
Oh, thank you, sweetheart.
So how was your day?
My day? Fine. How was your day?
Oh, the judge ruled for us on all counts.
You won.
Yeah. Come on, let's go out to dinner, Sally.
Well, what about the kids?
What are they going to do without us? Download dirty pictures from the net?
You do.
Yeah, but that was just a testimonial.
So we went out for a romantic dinner at our favorite little bistro, where the music was jazz you couldn't dance to, but we danced anyway. And later, when the place was nearly empty, the band asked Tom to sit in, so we did. And of course, he knocked their socks off. On the way home, we bought bagels for breakfast and beans for coffee and a paper for the crossword. The kids had left a mess in the kitchen, so we cleaned up and did the dishes. Then we got in bed and had great sex.
What do we do differently this time?
Tempo. It's all in the tempo. Then he kissed me and went to sleep, and I got up and wrote this, the story of my day. It's getting late now, and the bed looks very inviting. I just hope I don't snore again tonight. Dear Diary, I've never kept a journal because I was always afraid someone would find it and read all the juicy parts. But lately, life has become so bizarre and magical that I want to keep a record of it, especially the juicy parts. Not that this week has been so magical. Sunday, the kids caught me snoring on the couch. Tuesday, I wore suede in the rain. And last night, Tom and I had lousy sex.
Oh, that tickles.
Since when are you ticklish there?
I don't know. It tickles.
Oh. Ow!
What
was that
sorry.
for?
I didn't do it on purpose.
Well, it's hard to do that by accident.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry, too. Maybe we should just forget it.
I'm too old to still be having bad sex. Yesterday was my 40th birthday, after all. 40. Tom started planning for it months ago.
Listen, I've been thinking. What do you want to do for your birthday?
Nothing. I really don't want to celebrate that at all.
Come on, it's a big birthday.
I know that. I really don't care. But I did care. I was really hoping you'd just take me out for a romantic dinner and maybe dancing after, just the two of us. But instead there was a party, big and loud and not as much fun as people wanted it to be. I got some stupid gifts. My 10-year-old son asked me formally to dance, which really made me feel ancient. And Tom made his usual awkward toast.
So, somebody told her that I was only interested in older women.
It's true, you were.
Yeah, so she insisted that she was 28.
I was 21.
She's the only woman I know who lied about her age the wrong way.
Never made that mistake again, I can tell you that.
That's true. She still insists she's 28.
I can't even explain what went wrong in bed later. All I know is how much I wanted to feel close to Tom last night, and how I fell asleep feeling farther apart than when we started. In the morning, we picked up right where we'd left off, rubbing each other the wrong way. He took forever on the toilets,